Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for the series finale of Kamen Rider Geats. So, first of all, after this I will be filming my series review. I don't know exactly when this is going to go up, but you should have at least a couple days. I was going to ask those of you in the comments to leave your thoughts on the series overall, and I might read some of the replies in the review. I'm kind of trying to start something new with that when I do series reviews, to get some different points of view. As of this moment, I should have already put up a community post about this as well. Feel free to post there as well. But I want to read some of them off on the air, wow. But just, get some different points of view. So I wanted to say that at the beginning before I forget it. But let's talk about the series review, or the season finale, excuse me. So, we left off with Tsumuri seeming to betray Geats, and there was a lot of questions of, like, is it her, like, with a secret plan with him? Is it actually her? Is it the evil one? And it was kind of both, where, like, the evil one it was confusing, to be honest. A lot of convoluted weird stuff, like a lot of the final arc. And it was like the mirror one was, like, possessing her and, like, made her do it. But then Ace was like, oh, it was my plan all along because I needed to die to ascend to becoming a deity. So, I don't know. It was convoluted and weird. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting because there was a lot of different options that people brought up that made sense. And then we kind of flashed forward a little bit to Jin at Ace's grave, even though he's already been forgotten, and we revealed that he's been forgotten. And then we kind of flashed back to what had happened. Like, Ace did die, technically, but he is brought back as, like, a deity. And it's kind of almost like a different version of what happened to Kamen Rider Geats, but he can take physical form, as even though he's gone, you have then the conflict between the other riders and Sewell. So you have Buffa and Tycoon and Nago going up against him, and he's able to use his timey-wimey abilities to, like, just reverse them. It's, like, weird because he's like, I reversed time so you no longer have your powers, but yet wouldn't they just forget they were writers? And then, I don't know, it's weird how that works. It's very convoluted, but at the same time makes sense within the weird, like, reality-altering, time-altering technology they have from the future. But then Geats shows up in his standard form, revealing, like, I can take physical form because I'm a god. Basically, I can do whatever the hell I want now. And he restores their powers so they can all fight in their base forms and get one last celebration of the series in their base forms. And a pretty cool fight, taking use of all the revolve on and stuff like that, and defeating the final enemy. And then he reshapes the world as a world where, all of your desires can come true so long as you continue to believe in your wishes and dreams and desires and work for them. So he basically creates the world as it is always. Like, that's what's funny to me is, like, the world he created, the only real significant difference is obviously that the Grand Prix happened, and you have stuff like the Yamato still existing because Daichi, like, has them. But other than that, it's no different than the real world or the world before the Grand Prix. Just a world where you can make your desires happen and continue to have them, which just seems kind of silly. I'm a little bit disappointed by it. Like, I didn't expect there to be some sort of Utopia world, because I think that would go against a lot of the messages of the series, but it is just funny to think about that, yeah, so you reverted it to just normal, just how normal worlds work. There is, like, a nice scene where it shows everybody's lives now, and, like, that they all wrote down their desires, like Buffa just wanting to enjoy a nice meat meal. You know how it is, but he wished he could be enjoying that with Ace. Thank you. And of course, you have Neon, who is now being managed by her sponsor guy, and it's about, like, wanting to find her Prince Charming. So a nice little happy ending for her there. I'll talk about this more in the series review, but I like that her finding somebody that loves her for her wasn't just about that romance thing, and it wound up being her parents as well, and her friends, I guess, to a degree, but a nice ending for her. Tycoon and his sister just wanting a simple life, but of course him also wanting world peace, just that classic Miss America pageant answer and stuff like that. And of course Daichi, being able to continue on with his Yamato, which I have very mixed feelings about his role, which I'll talk more about in the series finale. But it was a nice set of scenes. And then Jin's like, oh, there's talk of starting a new Grand Prix that's aimed towards allowing people to achieve their dreams. I'm like, oh, that sounds lame. But it is kind of just weird and cheesy like that. But yeah, and everybody forgets Ace, and they basically just live in a normal world now where you can make your dreams come true. That's basically what it is. Honestly, a pretty lackluster and generic finale. I don't think it sours my opinion on the series overall, but I can't lie and say that I'm not disappointed in the final arc and the final episode. I feel it was rather convoluted, a little bit rushed, and a little bit generic compared to how unique the series was overall. I think it mostly ended on an emotionally satisfying note for me in regards to where the characters ended up. Like, I felt pretty good about it, and, like, the way they set up Ace. Like, even though he's dead, the fact that he can take, corporeal, like, physical form makes it easy for him to return for any future movies or crossovers and stuff like that. This is a case, though, while I am, disappointed but yet satisfied with the way it ended. I'm not going to mind when they do V-Cinemas. I know they just announced a Buffalo one, but there's some like Build or Gaim where, despite how much I love those series, I never wanted them to continue it because I think it ended on such a good note. And this one, even though it is more definitive, bittersweet, I think that I was like not as jazzed about it to the degree where if they dig the ending up and maybe do something cooler for the V-Cinemas, in this case, I'm not going to be that disappointed in it. Yeah, it was an okay episode. I would give it a 3 out of 5. There was some good fights. I think it was a satisfying, emotional conclusion. I just think it was disappointing to have such a generic and cliche finale, and finale arc overall for a series that was rather unique, but I'll dive more into that in the series review. But what did you guys think of the Geats finale? Were you more excited about it than I was, or were you feeling similar? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.